What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we cover everything you need to know about and what's going on here in our country on a daily basis, including the price of gas, the price of oil. We got a new bill being introduced here to potentially help limit that. Yeah, there's a lot going on here in our country, and we cover here the fourth stimulus package, stimulus check update, money, investing, the stock market. We cover it all here on our YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. Remember, new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, thanks for hitting the like button for us down below. You can see here we have a new bill that would set gas price limits and prevent exploitative cost hikes is headed for a vote in the House of Representatives. That's right. This comes as the price of oil has jumped and continues to jump here in the United States. And it's still been pretty dramatic here. The price of oil right now, it was down below $100 a barrel. It's now gone up to $110 a barrel for WTI crude. It's about the same now. WTI crude at 110.5, Brent crude at a 111.5 here. They've kind of caught up to each other here. But remember that the highs here, WTI crude was at 135-ish in March, and Brent crude was over 140 in March. So still pretty well below their highs. But the price of gas in the United States here is is at all-time highs. So even though we're well below the highs of oil, the national average of gas here is hitting all-time highs right now. And this is because gas companies and oil companies, BP, Shell, Exxon, they're just charging us whatever they want to. Corporate greed and gouging, price gouging, they're just charging us whatever they want to, regardless of the price of oil. So even though the price of oil is not at 135 or 140, they're just charging us the highest prices of gas ever. Yeah, and you can see here the price of regular gas on average $4.45 a gallon, and diesel $5.56 a gallon for diesel. Yeah, it's just insane. Insane. You can see how much this has gone up. The price of regular gas has gone up 15 cents in a week. 15 cents in a week. It's just insane. Diesel's actually kind of been staying the same here, but it had previously gone up 25 cents in a week for diesel. And look at a month ago, diesel was $5 a month ago. Now it's at $5.56. And regular gas was $4.07 a month ago. So it's just insane the amount of prices they're charging. And again, these are all-time highs here, as you can see here for these prices of gas here and diesel. Even though oil prices are still 30% below their all-time highs that we set or that we hit just here in March. So if we're $30 a barrel in price of oil below what we hit in March, why are we at all-time highs now? They're just these gas companies are just gouging us. They're just charging us whatever they want. And you can see here that Congress, you can see the headline here, a bill would set gas price limits and prevent exploitative cost hikes is headed for a vote in the House of Representatives. Congress will vote next week on a bill that would prohibit excessive gas prices. The legislation would enable President Joe Biden to issue an emergency energy declaration, making it illegal to increase gas and home energy prices in an exploitative manner. The bill, titled the Consumer Fuel Price Gouging Act, would give the Federal Trade Commission the authority to crack down on oil companies with over $500 million in annual consumer fuel sales. In a press conference announcing the legislation on Thursday, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said price gouging needs to stop. While families are struggling to pay higher prices at the pump, oil and gas companies are recording record profits. This is a major exploitation of the consumer because this is a product the consumer must have.
Next week on the floor of the House, we will have another piece of our lowering costs for the American people legislation. First, House Democrats led by Congresswoman Schreier and Congresswoman Porter introduced the Consumer Fuel Price Gouging Prevention Act. While families are struggling to pay higher prices at the pump, oil and gas companies are recording record profits, with 7 largest oil companies announcing buybacks that could total $41 billion this year alone. Again and again, we see gas prices rise, sometimes when the cost of oil drops, oil prices drop, and price gouging needs to be stopped. This is a major exploitation of the consumer because this is a product the consumer must have. Again, the Putin tax hike at the pump is a part of this, and you would think that the oil companies would compensate for that rather than exploit the opportunity that it. So, and this bill, what this bill does, price gouging needs to be addressed, including new tools at the FTC to address those abuses. Our bill enables the president to issue an energy emergency declaration, making it unlawful to increase gas and home energy prices in an exploitive and excessive way, which is part of the business plan of these companies.
So I will keep you up to date here on what goes down here with this legislation. Let me know your thoughts here on this. We'll see if what happens with Democrats and Republicans voting for this and how it goes down and what will happen if enacted. Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Next, we have the White House commenting on the baby formula shortage and potential with this. Check this out.
President Biden and lawmakers there in Washington are rushing to address the shortage of baby formula across the country that's getting worse by the day. The months-long shortage being attributed in part to a voluntary recall by the manufacturer Abbott Nutrition, which prompted the shutdown of a major plant. Supply chain issues, labor shortages also contributing to the problem. Abbott now looking to restart operations, but it could take up to 10 weeks, we're told, to get formula from the affected facility back onto store shelves, and parents don't have that kind of time. Overnight, the Biden administration announced new steps to tackle the crisis, and for that, we bring in Director of the White House National Economic Council, Brian Deese. Brian, thanks for taking some time this morning. We appreciate it. We were talking to Congresswoman Spanberger, who was introducing legislation and talking about how these companies operate and how that needs to change. That's all well and good, but as I said, this is a right now, today problem for parents in this country. How do you get baby formula onto shelves quickly?
Well, absolutely. It's a serious issue, and there are a set of steps that we need to take right now. First, we need to make it as easy as possible for retailers to sell the formula that they have and for consumers to buy it. About half of the formula in the United States goes through what's known as the WIC program, that in normal times has pretty strict regulations. Right now, we need to relax those regulations. Every state in the country needs to move on that right away. The second is we need to ramp up production of formula. As you mentioned, Abbott had to recall and stop, but the president was on the phone with the other major manufacturers of baby formula yesterday. Good news there. They're increasing production 30 to 50%. We need to ramp that up and also look at where we could safely import more baby formula as well. And the third thing is we need to make sure that nobody is taking advantage of the situation. We've seen some reports of people hoarding, buying, and then posting online for exorbitant prices. We need to make sure that there's none of that is happening. The authorities, state attorneys general, as well as the FTC are on that case.
So, Brian, these are all, they sound like good solutions. They'll take some time. What do you say to the mother or the father sitting at home right now and said, I've been to Walmart, I've been to CVS, I've been to every store I can think of, and I cannot find food for my baby? What's their move here?
Look, we understand how challenging this is. I'm a parent. All of us have experience with just how life and death needing to have nutrition for your child is. Right now, first and foremost, if you've got a particular challenge, you should reach out to your pediatrician, your healthcare provider. There are emergency tools, emergency issues in place, including working with Abbott, the manufacturer that you discussed, for particular specialty formulas or otherwise. And also know that the president was on the phone with major retailers yesterday, on the phone with manufacturers. We are sparing no effort and no tool in our toolbox to try to accelerate this and ramp this up. And I think that we will see some serious production increases and some relief on those shelves as a result of these actions.
Brian, what can the President of the United States do to make sure that this never happens again?
Well, beyond these immediate steps, there are some really important things that we need to look at. The structure of this market, with 3 manufacturers controlling 90% of the market, in some instances with specialty formulas, an individual company having that much control. We need to look hard at the competition issues in this market and make sure that we have more resilient supply chains. And also, at the end of the day, we have to have a very high standard for safety when it comes to something as vital as baby formula. We cannot relax our safety protocols. So we need more resilience. We need more production capacity in more places so that our economy is not completely reliant on an individual facility or an individual company.
Yeah, and the problem with these shortages, it's just yet another increase of prices. We're seeing shortages, we're seeing price increases for formula. We're seeing some cases where mothers and families can't buy them. But this is further exacerbated because the child tax credits have not gone out this entire year of 2022. So, remember that children under the age of 6 would have been getting $300 per month, and those have not gone out this year. So, yeah, there's just a breakdown of a lot of problems here this year. Um, Yeah, a lot of people blame Democratic Senator Joe Manchin for this because Democrats passed the bill in the House that would have extended those child tax credits. The Democrats passed the child tax credits with the $1,400 third stimulus check package last year that sent out those third stimulus checks, the $1,400 third stimulus checks, and the child tax credits for last year. But those were only passed for 1 year, and now they have expired. I do want to bring this up again here in case you didn't see this, if you have any friends or family for this. They have just released new information on this. The government has just launched or added new tools to get the extra child tax credit money. Remember that those monthly payments for last year, 2021, only went out for half the year, from July through December. Anybody with children is still owed the other half of the year money. So $1,500 to $1,800 per person. But to get that money, you have to file a tax return. Get to file a tax return. So if you didn't file a tax return, they have now launched a free tool at these websites, okay? childtaxcredit.gov or getctc.org. So you can share this video with anybody you know that has children, because you got to make sure that you file the tax return or you go to one of these websites to make sure that you get that extra money. because you're owed this from the government. Okay. So for last year, the child tax credits, you're still owed an extra $1,500 to $1,800 per child, but you have to file a tax return or go to these websites to get the extra money. You can see here, you can get this by basically going to this website and it will kind of do it for you. It says it's not too late. You can file your tax return to get the child tax credit and thousands of dollars of additional tax benefits. Apparently, you can now do it right through this website, right through this website. Yeah. So, and there's kind of two websites here. You can claim your child tax credits. If you don't usually file taxes, you can use this simplified tax filing tool to claim your child tax credit and any missing amount of your third stimulus payment as well. This form usually takes about 15 minutes to complete and you won't need any tax documents. Okay, so you can do this right here on this. It basically is going to file a tax return for you here online for free. So I think it's for free. So keep this in mind because this is going to literally get you thousands of dollars. I'm trying to help as many people as I can here. And if you don't do this, you're going to miss out on thousands of dollars. So you should do this if you have children and you haven't filed a tax return for 2021 here in 2022. So I'll keep you up to date here on everything. I just did a video on Social Security increases, and I'm going to keep you up to date here on everything. Student loan forgiveness, Social Security increases, state stimulus checks, federal stimulus checks. I actually got some videos to link you to here next if you haven't seen them. So make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's completely free to do so. Just click the subscribe button down below and then click the bell icon after subscribing. Remember, new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click here to see my new video on Social Security increases. And this is my new video on stimulus checks. Really good video there as well. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.